everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and today's video is going to be a weekend reading vlog. There's not really a theme for this weekend's reading vlog. I'm just going to be reading some books that I just want to read. So I've already had to change my sort of TBR for this weekend. Originally I was going to be prioritising The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. I've just checked my library app and my reservation for Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett is non-renewable, so this needs to go back at the end of the month. So I'm going to be prioritising this one this weekend. I don't know too much about this one. It's been on my TBR for quite a few years, but I've just never gotten around to reading it. I always thought it was a fantasy, but it says on the side it's sci-fi, so might have been wrong there. But I'll read the synopsis out for you now. So it says, in the city of Teveni, you either have everything or nothing. For escaped slave Sancha Grado, I butcher names, I'm so sorry. Eking out a precarious living in the hellhole known as the Commons, nothing is just one misstep away. So when she is offered a lucrative job to steal an ancient artifact from a heavily guarded warehouse, she leaps at the chance. But instead of a way out of Teveni, she finds herself the target of a murderous conspiracy. Someone powerful wants the artifact, and Sancha dead. To survive, she will need every ally and every ounce of wits at her disposal, because if her unknown enemy unlocks the artifact's secrets, the world and reality will never be the same. So yeah, this one sounds really good. I did want to read his other series first, but my library for some reason didn't have the first book in that series, so I went with this one instead. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to read this one, so we'll see how this one goes. And I am still going to be trying to read The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. I know they're probably sort of similar genres, but we'll see how I get on. I do really want to read this one. I really need to catch up on his books before the next Stormlight book comes out. I can't really tell you too much about this one specifically because it is the fourth book in the second era of Mistborn, which is the seventh book in the Mistborn series overall. So I can't really say too much. I'm sure you've all heard of Mistborn, but it's a really interesting magic system where the people inhale metals, and most people can only inhale one metal, whereas Mistborns can inhale all the different types of metals, and this gives them certain abilities. And in the first series, we follow Rin, who discovers that she's a Mistborn in sort of like a rebellion against the Empire and the person who runs it. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic series, so highly recommend if you haven't already read it. And like I said, this is the fourth book in Second Era, which is set 200 years after the first trilogy, and is more of like a Wild West kind of theme. So yeah, really excited to read this one. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys hopefully later today with a bit of an update. So I've now read the first 180 pages of Foundry Side, and guys, this one's so good so far. Like, I'm so interested. So we're following, obviously, Sancha. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right. So she's stolen the artifact, and then she's not supposed to, it's a box. She's not supposed to look inside the box, but curiosity gets the better of her. She opens the box, and it's a key, and then the key can like communicate with her. So this key, the magic system in this world is called scribing, and that was started to be explained within the first chapter, which is really good. So we're slowly learning more about it. Essentially, when you scribe something, you sort of, I don't know if you like engrave it, you sort of put commands onto it in like hieroglyphics. I think I'm not 100% on it. It's still being explained to us as we go along. And then these commands like make the object maybe think it's slightly different to what it is. Or so, for example, one of the examples we're given is like weapons think that they're heavier than they are, so they do more damage, or things can be lighter, or it's really hard to explain it really well. Like the author does a really good job of explaining it. I'm just not doing a very good job of explaining it to you. So she steals this artifact, and then she's supposed to give it to the buyer, but like I said, curiosity gets the better of her. She opens it, and the key can like communicate with her, because we find out that she's got these like scribings in her, so she can like hear other things that have been scribed. Like, it's really cool. Like, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it. So this key can unlock everything, like any lock it can unlock. So obviously it's a very valuable object, and because it can communicate with her, she's sort of thinking this is more advanced than like technology currently is. And then we have a little bit of another perspective of Gregor, So Gregor is basically like law enforcement, head of law enforcement in this world, and he created the law enforcement, and he's investigating the theft of this item, but he doesn't know what the item is. There's like she had to set a fire and whatnot to escape, so he's investigating that. So these two cross paths, and then there's not a third perspective, but there's like a third entity that's after her. So obviously the person that she was supposed to steal this for and give it to, so the buyer, is a bit pissed that she hasn't given them the item. Those kind of three people or three entities are kind of mixing, and Gregor eventually tracks her down, and now they're kind of reluctantly working together to find out more about this third person. So yeah, that's a terrible synopsis. But yeah, this one's really, really good so far. Like, the world is really unique, and like I said, it's been really well explained. I've flown through those first 180 pages, so I don't think I'm going to have any problem reading this entire thing this weekend. But yeah, really, really good so far. Really enjoying this one. I'm so glad that I got it out from the library. Like, why has this been sat on my TBR for so long? Like, yeah, really loving this one so far. So I'll check back in with you guys when I've got a bit more to say about it. Guys, so I have now finished Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. I was going to come in and do an update sort of when I was just over halfway, but I didn't really have too much to add from what I had previously already said. Now I've finished it. I'm going to give this one a 4 stars. I think this one is a really interesting fantasy. Like I said in my previous update, the world is really unique. It's kind of like Victorian vibes, like that's kind of where the technology is in this world that's the kind of vibes I'm getting, and just how society runs. Yeah, it's definitely got like Victorian vibes. The plot is really, really like convoluted and really interesting. Like, I didn't do a very good job of explaining it, and I'm not going to try and explain it because I don't think I can do the plot justice. Like, I think if you're interested in fantasy, if the synopsis sounded interesting to you, definitely give this one a go. I mean, I'm probably late on the bandwagon. I know this is a quite popular fantasy author, but if you haven't already read it and you do enjoy fantasy, I would definitely check this one out. It's really, really good, really interesting. So yeah, I'm very pleased I picked this up, and I definitely think as the books progress that the world is going to open up more. We're going to discover things about our characters and their pasts. There was quite a few twists in here. One of them I did kind of see the foreshadowing for, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So one of the twists I did see coming, and one of them I didn't. Because it's kind of like a Victorian era, it also has sort of like the sexism that women face in this society, and I think that was really well done, and the twist that kind of came around because of that was really quite interesting as well. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a 4 stars because, like I said, I think as the books progress, the world's going to open up more and the plot's going to get even more interesting than it already is. So I think this is definitely going to get better and better. But yeah, I'm really glad I picked this one up. So thank you to the random stranger at my library who reserved this so that I had to then read it to return it, because it would probably have just sat on my loan pile for a while before I got round to it. So yeah, thank you, stranger. Yeah, really enjoyed this one and highly recommend. I'm gonna change the genre a bit, and I'm gonna pick up Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Now, I don't know too much about this one. I was talking in work to one of my someone at work who also reads, about the Chestnut Springs series, and she recommended this series to me and kindly lent me this book. So I'm gonna give this one a go. I think I'll read this one tonight, and then I might pick up The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel. I mean, this might suck me in and I read the whole thing. But yeah, so I don't know too much about this one. I'll just read a bit of it and then check back in with you probably later tonight or tomorrow morning and let you know what this is about and my thoughts on it then. But yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. Hey guys, so I've now read the first 80 pages of Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. So this one is following Naomi, who from what I can gather, has just fled her wedding day. We don't know why or any reasons yet. And her twin sister Tina lives in a town. I think it's the town called Knockamout. And Tina texts her and says that she really needs help. Please, can she come? So Naomi travels to the town with a load of money. Her sister's supposed to meet her inside a coffee shop. And then when Naomi goes into the coffee shop, the workers there think that she's Tina. Now, Tina is a troublemaker and she's actually barred from the coffee shop. There's a bit of an altercation, and then they realise that Naomi isn't Tina. And then when Naomi leaves the coffee shop, her car has gone missing. She meets a guy called Knox in the coffee shop who thinks she's Tina. And he takes her to the police station to see if they've towed it. And then it turns out that Tina stole it. She's also stolen the purse and all of her belongings that she left in the car and has left town. When Naomi goes back to her her motel room, she's got an 11-year-old niece just sitting on the bed waiting for her. So yeah, this is definitely not what I was expecting. I was expecting more of a romance, but yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be a bit of a romance between Knox and Naomi. But yes, there seems to be a lot of family drama going on. Like, we've just got to the point where the chief of police, Nash, who is Knox's brother, and they don't get on, Knox and Nash. But Nash is talking to Naomi about like custody agreements and things like that, because basically if Tina comes back, she's going to be like arrested. She's not fit to be a parent, and Waylay, yeah, the child's called Waylay, will be taken into foster care, and Naomi doesn't really want that for her niece that she's only just met. So yes, that's where we're up to. But yeah, I am enjoying this one so far. It's not what I was expecting, which is kind of a good thing. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, to be honest. I had no idea what this was about going into it. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to read any more of this tomorrow. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop for tonight. I'm feeling a bit tired. Just going to watch a bit of telly before I go to bed. And then I think maybe tomorrow I will pick up The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. And then maybe just see which one I'm kind of not enjoying more, because I am enjoying this one, but just see which one sort of I fancy reading a bit more. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow then. But yeah, really enjoying this one so far. It's now been just over a day since I last updated you. So first thing, I'm really sorry if you can hear the roadworks outside my house. I'm hoping that you can't because of my microphone, but they were right outside the house earlier. They've moved a bit further down, but they're just so loud, and of course they've stopped now, and now they started up again. I can't really do anything about that, so I am really sorry if that affects this clip in any way. And then the reason that I didn't update you yesterday was, in fact, because I actually didn't do any reading yesterday. I went and bought a new car, and then in the evening I wasn't really feeling 100%, so wasn't really in the mood for any reading. So I don't really have too much to update you on. I am still 80 pages through Things We Never Got Over. I am going to make this one a priority for the rest of the week, so I am going to extend this vlog. It doesn't affect you guys in any way, it just means I'm filming for a couple of extra days. But I'm going to prioritise this one this week because I am really interested in this one, actually. Yeah. So not much extra to say on that one because I haven't read anything since I last updated you. But I have read the first 140 pages of The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. So that's all of part one. And I forgot in these books that we get really cool, like, little chapter breaks. Not in all the chapters, but they're like newspaper clippings and stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. We haven't really gotten to the main plot. We're being reintroduced to the characters. This is set 6 years after the third book. That was kind of a trilogy, and then this was kind of like an extra novel, I think. This one seems so far to be kind of picking up on a couple of loose threads from that trilogy, and then setting up for, I think, bringing all of the Cosmere together. So what's happening is that we're getting a lot of mentions of the Cosmere. Now, I know that there have been mentions of other Cosmere books in other books, but a lot of them either I haven't noticed or it's been so sort of under the radar that you might not clock it. Whereas this one is like, the Cosmere has been mentioned like 4 or 5 times. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, it's a lot more obvious that they're trying to link, that he's trying to link the Cosmere together. And I know that people have said that you need to read this one before you go into the newest Stormlight book later in the year. So I'm assuming that these Mistborn and Stormlight are going to tie in together. I've not really got much clue on where the plot's going. It is interesting to see where the characters are now, like 6 or 7 years later after the second trilogy. And of course, we've still had a mention of Rin from First Mirror Mistborn. First Mirror. What did I just say? We've had a mention of Rin from First Era Mistborn, which I always love because I do love First Era Mistborn and Rin. So yeah, I am really enjoying this one so far. It's also really interesting to see how the world and technology has developed a lot since the last trilogy. So they've now got cars, quite like rudimentary cars, it sounds like. But yeah, this one's really interesting so far. So I'll see if I pick it up again this week. I am going to try and prioritize things we never got over. I keep thinking this one's called like something else, like what one of the other ones is called. So I'm sorry if I say the wrong one, but yeah, enjoying both of these, and also the kind of like there's a bit of a theme, blue and white. So yeah, so I'm gonna carry on reading. I think I'm gonna read a bit more of this one, and then I'll check back in with you guys later. So I've now read just past the 200-page mark of Things We Never Got Over. And I'm really not sure how I'm feeling about this. I'm really enjoying like Naomi's storyline with the whole family dramas going on. I just really don't like Knox. I really don't like him as a character. I really don't like him as a love interest. Like, I get he's supposed to be sort of like the sullen, moody one, but he's just really unbearable. Like, considering we don't know his exact age, but he's over 40, and he's just so immature, and like the whole fallout between him and his brother, we've found out a bit more about that now, and for me it was just a bit pathetic. And the fact that they like fight like teenage boys, like it's just, I don't like him. I don't like him. And we've just had a sex scene, and I'm not really feeling the chemistry between them. It's supposed to be, I guess, like a hate to love kind of thing. I just No, I just don't know. And then in the sex scene, she refers to his penis as a weapon of mass destruction, and I just started laughing out loud. Like, I've never laughed at a sex scene before, but like I couldn't take that seriously. Like he's 40 and we don't know how old she is, but I'm going to assume she's like in her 30s. I don't know. Like, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this book right now. I feel like it's taken me ages to read it as well. I feel like I've been reading this for ages, and like I'm reading it and I'm reading a chapter, and then I just don't have any motivation to carry on. I mean, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to finish it. I'm nearly halfway. And I am enjoying some aspects of it, but yeah, I just don't like the romance. I'm not a fan. I mean, unless Knox is going to have like a complete character personality change, then I don't see myself really growing to like him. Like, I like how he cares for Waylay and people in his community, but that's like the only thing about him that I like. Like, one minute he's really nice to Naomi, and then he just split, like, it just he just snaps and changes, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like him. So yeah, not really kind of the update I was expecting to bring you guys, but yeah, we'll see. I will obviously finish it, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I've read a bit more how I'm feeling. But yeah, not vibing with this one right now. Hmm. Hey everyone, so I'm just coming in to wrap this reading vlog up. So obviously, first of all, I did manage to read the entirety of Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I gave this one 4 stars. Highly recommend, very unique world, unique plot. So yeah, check this one out if you haven't already. And then I managed to read the first 140 pages of The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. Really enjoying this one, and I'm really excited to continue on. I'm going to take this one at a bit of a slower pace just so I can appreciate everything that's going on, and I'm not reading it too quickly and not absorbing all of the information. But yeah, really enjoying this one still. And then finally, I have about 120 pages left of Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. So I'm hoping to get this one finished maybe this weekend, but I have to say I think this is going to be a 3-star read, only because I don't really like Knox as a love interest. I don't like him as a character. I quite like his brother Nash, like he seems a bit more mature, but Knox just doesn't, he's not really doing it for me. I am really interested in the whole family drama storyline, obviously with Naomi's sister Tina and Waylay. That's all really quite interesting to me, and to be honest, that's the reason that I am continuing to read this book, because I want to find out what happens there. I mean, we've just got to like the sort of 3rd act breakup with her and Knox, and he is a bit of a twat, if I'm honest. But yeah, to be honest, obviously she's probably going to get back together with him, but if she didn't, I wouldn't be fussed either way. Like, so yeah, this is just a 3-star read, I'm thinking, at the moment. So yeah, I think I've had a pretty successful weekend of reading, extended weekend of reading. Finished an entire book, made quite a bit of progress through this one, and then obviously started The Lost Metal. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this weekend's turned out. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like if you've enjoyed it and subscribe for more bookish content. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!